There is something inexplicable when two different souls suddenly attract each other, as if the universe has a hidden plan. And now the whole world is talking about one thing: Hou Minghao and Lu Yuxiao. Two names that initially only stood side by side on the screen are now a topic that stirs the hearts of fans. Everyone is wondering, who forced Hou Minghao to fall, to feel that love for Lu Yuxiao? Because from every glance, every gesture, every second they spend together, it seems too real to be just acting. It all started with the drama project they starred in together. A classic romantic story on screen. Two characters from different worlds who eventually find the meaning of love. But what happened behind the scenes was far more intriguing than the script itself. When the camera stopped rolling, their gazes didn't stop. When the director said cut, the smiles on their faces grew softer, more sincere, and too dangerous to ignore. People on set began to notice something was different. Hou Minghao, who is usually calm and kept his distance, suddenly became attentive, like a man who is secretly afraid of losing her. And Lu Yuxiao, who is known for being calm and professional, seemed more cheerful, more alive, especially whenever the name Minghao was mentioned. Some of the crew even whispered, "He's changed since working with Yuxiao." And indeed, the change was palpable. Not just in the way he spoke, but in the way he looked at her. A small moment went viral when they were caught on camera during a drama promotion event. When Lu Yuxiao laughed because the microphone was malfunctioning, Hou Minghao spontaneously approached her, gently fixed it, and unconsciously touched Yuxiao's fingertips. Their reaction? Silence. Their gazes locked. The world seemed to stop spinning. Fans screamed. He looked at her like someone who had just realized he was in love, wrote a fan on Weibo. Other comments flooded in. That wasn't acting. Those were real feelings. And from that moment on, rumors began to swirl incessantly. However, interestingly, during an interview, when asked about their chemistry, Hou Minghao didn't dodge the question. He smiled faintly, looked at the camera with eyes that reflected a soft light, and said, "Yuxiao is an easy person to like. When you're close to her, it's hard not to feel something." That simple sentence hit everyone like a storm, because the way he said it was too honest, too calm, too sincere. There was no hint of joking, no attempt to hide anything. And that was the point where the public began to wonder, was there really something forcing those feelings to grow between them? Maybe it wasn't human. Maybe it was fate itself. People began to scrutinize their every interaction, from small gestures behind the stage, from moments tucked away in promotional videos, to long gazes in behind-the-scenes footage. And the more they looked, the harder it was to deny. When they sat next to each other, their knees often touched without them realizing it. When Yuxiao spoke, Minghao stared as if listening intently to every word. And every time she laughed, Minghao's expression softened, like someone who was falling in love but didn't dare admit it. There is one short video where Minghao quietly stares at Yuxiao while she is busy joking around with the crew. The gaze is so intense, so deep, that many have commented, "That's not the gaze of a coworker. That's the gaze of a man struggling to hide his feelings." Some fans even liken their relationship to magnets, two energies that initially try to repel each other, but grow stronger as they get closer. In every promotion, they appear to be getting closer. In every photo, the distance between them grows smaller. In every glance, there is something flowing, subtle, sincere, and difficult to explain logically. And if you see the way Yuxiao looks at Minghao, you'll know that love is not one-sided. There is a mutual resonance there. There is a contagious vibration that makes anyone who sees it feel something in their chest, warm, fluttering, and a little painful. In a recent interview, when asked if he believed in love that grew from working together, Hou Minghao smiled faintly. "Sometimes you have no choice," he said softly. You can't force yourself not to feel something, especially when that person is in front of you every day, making you laugh, looking at you with eyes that never lie. Those words were like a hidden confession. And of course, fans immediately went wild. Comments poured in. Who else is he talking about if not Yuxiao? He's fallen, and he can't deny it. Many asked, who forced Hou Minghao to feel that love? But the longer they thought about it, the clearer the answer became. No one. No one forced him. No one arranged it. No one ordered it. Because love, in the end, is the one thing that cannot be forced. Love arises from something greater than logic. From genuine laughter. From a gaze that makes the world feel like it stopped spinning. From the presence of someone who suddenly makes everything feel more beautiful. And perhaps that's what happened to Minghao. He wasn't forced to love. He couldn't refuse to love. Now, every time they appear together, the world seems to tremble again. Fans photograph every moment, dissect every glance, write theory after theory. But behind all that, there is something deeper. Admiration for two people who seem to be truly connected off-screen. In one of the latest videos, when Yuxiao almost fell because her shoelace was loose, Minghao reflexively held her shoulder. It was only a few seconds, but it was enough to make the audience hold their breath. Their eyes met, and a small smile appeared on Yuxiao's lips. "Thank you," she said softly. And without realizing it, Minghao replied softly, "I won't let you fall." The words were simple, but the world knew their meaning was far more than just a reflex. It was a small promise that came without a script. Did they truly love each other? Perhaps they themselves weren't brave enough to admit it. But every time they looked at each other, the world knew something indescribable was growing between them. And maybe love wasn't something that could be forced. Perhaps love is what forces them to feel it. Without reason, without plan, without choice. Because in the end, some love doesn't need an explanation. It just needs to be felt. And in Hou Minghao's eyes and Lu Yuxiao's gentle smile, that love is real.